SellTrend is an interactive visualization system for analyzing airline travel purchase transactions, in particular failed transactions. SellTrend consists of three views: the timeline view, the table view, and the attribute map view. The timeline view shows the number of failed transactions by day and by hour in a bar chart representation. When analysts select a particular day, the hourly amount of failures is shown to the right. When multiple days are selected, the hourly rates are displayed as a stacked bar chart with a region for each day. Analysts begin their investigation by examining the timeline view and selecting particular hours and days of interest. The attribute map view and the table view update to show failed transactions from the selected period. The table view shows details of individual transactions as a standard spreadsheet, where each row denotes a transaction and the columns are its attributes. In the attribute map view, each of the rows corresponds to a transaction attribute, such as purchasing agent, departure city, fare class, and airline. Within an attributes row, each small rectangle represents a different categorical value of that attribute. The size of the rectangle is directly proportional to the number of failures with that value. The color of the rectangles indicates the performance of that value in the chosen time period compared to its historical average. Blue shows that the attribute value has accounted for fewer failures in the chosen period than it does historically. And orange indicates worse performance, that is, more failures than usual. The attribute rows can be collapsed or expanded so that the analysts can focus on and examine more interesting attributes closely. Each of the rectangles in the attribute map view is interactive. Analysts can focus or exclude attribute values by dragging and dropping the corresponding rectangles to a filter region for each to the left. A focus operation shows only failed transactions with that attribute, and an exclude operation discards all transactions with that attribute. Notice that whenever a filter is added or removed, all three views update accordingly. In the timeline view, information about the number of failed transactions due to filtering is shown in magenta and overlaid on top of the existing bar charts. The table view only displays failures with attribute values specified by the filters. The size and color of each rectangle in the attribute map view also adjusts accordingly. We now illustrate a scenario of using SellTrend to identify a combination of attribute values that may be leading to a problem with failed transactions. We can immediately identify in the timeline view that a sell failure spike occurred on Monday, August 27th. After selecting failures from all 24 hours in that day, we focus on the attribute map view. We can see, for example, that travel agent DYS has contributed the most failures in comparison to other agents, but the region representing it is a light shade of blue, indicating that it has contributed less failures in the selected window than normal. Airline A80 instead is contributing a large number of failures and is worse than its historical average. Hence, it may be worth investigating further. We focus on airline A80, so only its failed transactions are shown. Examining the other attributes, we note more than one to explore further. For example, class Z and R, flight number 4360, and error code 78. We decide to drill down to flight number 4360 first, because flight number is typically a key attribute. It then becomes clear that airline A80, flight number 4360, boarding city EFO, and arrival city MBY might be part of the cause of the failure spike on August 27th. This discovery is also corroborated by the overlaid information in the timeline view, where we can see that only on August 27th is there a visible surge in failures associated with these attribute values. The hour panel shows that the surge was happening around 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. on that day. The attribute map view further indicates that travel agent Z7F might be the right stakeholder to contact for resolution. With just a few clicks, we have identified an interesting attribute value combination that likely constitutes an anomaly.